Yo, my name is Big Lou, and you are now listening to Go Produce. We're the show that explores how music industry professionals turn their passion into profits. In this episode, we've got Brandon Eady, a human very involved in his community while also finding time to talent buy and manage large-scale productions. The Go Produce focus of this episode is, how does a promoter develop and support a local scene? If you're curious about joining your local scene as an artist or promoter, then this episode is for you. All right. Thank you, Brandon Eady, for being here. First and foremost, I want to let you know that we do really appreciate your time. So why don't we just go ahead and make the most of it and go produce. Listeners, let me tell you who we've got in store for you today. Brandon Eady, he's been in the music scene since he was 17 years old. He started off with a background in punk, hardcore, and metal, and then today has worked with more bands, artists, groups that can be counted. He is the owner of Summer Camp Productions and is the production manager and talent buyer for the London Music Hall complex, as well as for festivals. He's evolved with the Embassy when they became Salt Lounge, which is our modern-day London Music Hall. He's worked towards developing artists like Baptized in Blood, who he's actually signed to Roadrunner Records. He's worked with the soap opera Coma, Searching for Satellites, and also in their early years, he's worked with Alexis on Fire. He's worked with Shad. He's worked with Down with Webster, and, well, the list goes on. He's booked for festivals and is stage managed for Canadian Music Week, North by Northeast, Trackside Music Festival. Oh, well, I think you get the point. But that's not all. Brandon also runs and DJs Emo Night in London. He runs Rock and Roll Bingo at Winks Eatery on Tuesdays in London. You can actually find him on Twitch. We'll speak some more on that, actually. But he does a lot of good work for local London businesses. Lastly, before we actually get into the show, I want to let you know this one thing, which is super, super awesome cool about Brandon, is that he produced Juno Fest 2019 in London, Ontario, which had 140 bands. It had 17 different venues, and it spanned 2 days. It has been said that he is the guy that every local artist wants to know. Brandon, you are all of this and so much more. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're looking forward to this. This should be a lot of fun.
Yes, that's exactly what we're going for. And we're going to go right into it. And we're going to start off with this segment. This segment is called The Basics. Yeah, The Basics. What
a grumpy sound guy knows he shouldn't be smoking indoors.
Please, someone make sure he knows that. But for this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to run... Ooh, tell us how you really feel. I think he's trying. He's even cutting me off now. Enough's enough, man. I see you back there. Alrighty. So the basics, now that we can proceed without interruption, is designed to essentially get you thinking off your feet. We're gonna hit you with some heavy hitting questions. We're going to explore some interesting perspectives, and we're going to avoid surface level questions because no one really cares about those anyway. My favorite question to start off with, and we're making this a theme, is what is your first musical memory?
Realistically, it was seeing New Kids on the Block when I was 9 years old.
New Kids.
I got dragged by my folks and my sisters who they were taking. It was in Toronto. That would definitely probably be it. I mean, aside from listening to Michael Jackson's Bad album and dancing
Shivers
around.
Down your spine.
I've got videos of that, which is kind of funny. Me dancing on top of the TV with my Fisher-Price microphone in the hand. But on like the first concert I ever went to was New Kids on the Block, and that was my most vivid memory.
Okay, and was that a time where you almost decided I need to do more of this? You're probably young enough to like not know that this is my whole life, but did you want to spend more time? Did you feel the need to?
Not at that time, no. Back then I was still striving to be an astronaut hockey player. But realistically, no, honestly, I had the biggest aspirations of being an architect when I was younger. The simple reason was because I was really good at Lego.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
That is definitely a building block.
That was it. No, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't until I was in high school that I started thinking about, being in music as a career. And I wrote a paper on it in grade 9, thinking that it was a joke. Oh no, grade 8. I wrote a paper on I was doing street team for some unknown label in Toronto. But I wrote a paper on it saying that this is going to be my career someday. Never thought it would happen. It's cool.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And do you still have access to this paper?
Oh no. I mean, my parents. No, my parents gave me everything from back in the days, including all my Fs and whatever else. But no, I don't think I have that still.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see how obviously there changes, but how accurate your projections were.
Oh, probably completely way off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, on that note, we'll go on to the second question. I mentioned summer camp production. I want to know what the story is behind the actual name of that.
So this was, when I was 17, I started this out at the embassy. We were doing shows for some friends who were in high school. And that's kind of where it all started, was, just putting on the odd show for high school bands who I was friends with.
At the embassy?
Yeah, at the embassy.
Yeah.
Originally, we were going under the name of Riot Records, but then I was like, I'm not a record label at the time. I want to name this, whatever it was, entity that embodied like fun. So the original logo was actually a school bus with like people hanging out the windows and all that kind of stuff. But that's where it came from.
You went from a riot to a school bus for fun?
Yeah, it was great. That was it. So I don't know. Honestly, it was just like, I think I saw a school bus one day going to camp, and I was like, hey, that looks like fun. Summer camp productions. Cool. We'll do that. That's it. But honestly, like, no, Chuck, a buddy of mine, Chuck Leach, who used to play in a band called Judy Obscure, did the original logo, and it was such a crappy like school bus with people hanging out the windows with beers and like fires.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. No, it puts a good image in your head. And I think if you can have stories like that actually build your company, it makes it solidifies the culture. It's not just a boring name that you chose because that's what it is. There's meaning behind it. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now it's more so just a branding thing than anything else, but
which is huge in today.
Yeah, I suppose.
Next question for you. I see you like pets.
A little bit.
Tell me something about Palooza. I hear you know a thing or two about that.
Yeah, so Palooza, it's been going on for 12 years now at Plunkett Estates. It's a massive outdoor, massive, and I mean like 35,000 people throughout the day. It's a massive festival for dogs and for dog lovers. It takes place on August 15th at Plunkett Estate. It's incredible. There's so much stuff to do. And then last year I became the media lead for that. So that's on the table as well. We're not sure what's happening with this year, obviously, because of the pandemic and everything that's going on, but hopefully, I mean, if not this year, then next year. But everybody should check out Palooza. Whether you have a dog or don't have a dog, you can find a dog, you can find a cat, or you can just go there and shop. See dogs jump in water. The dock diving is like the craziest thing in the world.
What?
Yeah, so
you can count me in.
Watching these dogs run, I don't know whether it's 20 feet or whatever to their owner throwing a ball, and then they just jump as far as they can off the end of the dock into the pool. It's like incredible to watch these things do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, it's amazing. It's so entertaining. It's super cool.
That's awesome. Alrighty, cool. My next question for you is, what is something that people seem to misunderstand about you?
Well, there's a lot of things that I think people, no, I don't know. I mean, I hear all the time that I don't get back to them, and that means I don't like them. Sometimes I just get busy and overlook emails, or I just haven't had the time to, or I open it up when I'm in the car or doing something else to turn the notification off, and then I just forget it.
Can't say that's never happened to me.
No, I'm generally a nice person and not a dink for the most part.
That's a pro. Yeah,
I'm very blunt. That's more so it. I like to tell it what it is and not sugarcoat things, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's more constructive to be completely honest with somebody than blow smoke up their butts.
Beating around the bush and whatnot. Yeah.
It's never in a harmful way, generally speaking.
Yeah. Sometimes people can receive criticism and be like, oh, they hate me on a personal level, when that's actually the complete opposite. I care about you or the situation so much that I need to. Yeah. No, I feel you. I see your point of view. My last question for this segment is, what do you do? What do you enjoy doing during your downtime? I know you got pets. That's busy. I know you've got A lot of work going on. That's busy. But when you can leave.
No, most of the time, and in any downtime that I've got, hang out with friends, hang out with my dogs, or my wife, or both together. We have a go for walks with them, take them to the trails. I mean, outside of that, I play a lot of video games,
All right.
like a lot. Um,
what's your go-to game?
right now, I'm playing the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm also playing Animal Crossing, which I just discovered, and that's like a super. If you ever want to have a yoga-like experience while playing a video game, you just sit there and fish. I play NHL. I play a lot of NHL. I play a lot.
Chell,
a
hey,
lot of chell.
nice. Yeah. Very nice. So online?
Oh yeah, online.
Yeah.
Whether
Beautiful.
against friends or random 13-year-olds who rage quit, it's still good.
That's almost just gratifying in a sense, no?
No. I mean, yeah.
No, I hate them. I hate them all.
When you only have 15 minutes and you want to play one game before you eat dinner and then you don't even get to complete a game, that's kind of frustrating.
Good point. Yeah,
I mean,
13-year-olds don't appreciate time.
Mostly it. I mean, a lot of the outside of work life revolves around, our animals and my relationships with my wife and my friends.
If we don't have that, I mean, what's really to life?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the most important things there. So.
There you go. Well, those are some not so basic questions. I hope you're feeling good. Are you feeling ready to continue?
Yeah, let's go.
Perfect. Well, our next segment is called the speed round. Yeah, speed round. It'll be over in a flash before you know it. In the speed round, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you 20 simple questions that are designed to be answered by either a yes, no, this, that, both, or neither. Please do not try and justify your reasoning for your answer until after. We're just going to get through these 20 questions. We're going to test your quick thinking skills. We're going to test your listening skills, and we're going to have fun while we do it all. Cool?
Yeah.
Let's do it. First question, or I'm not going to say that for every question because that defeats the purpose. Let's start off here. Do you play any instruments?
No.
If you had toilet paper, do you flip it over or under?
Over.
Do you like to be in or do you like to be out?
Out.
Out. You're hungry. You want pizza or a burrito?
Pizza.
Do you prefer movies or TV shows?
TV shows.
Do you prefer a life of leisure or of luxury?
Leisure.
You can only have one meal in the day, breakfast or dinner.
You can have breakfast for dinner. So both.
Oh. Say what? You just killed me in my mind. I don't even know how to respond to that. Next question. Does your birthday always happen on the same day?
Yes.
You're a gamer, Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
You like pets, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Up or down?
Down.
Is your TikTok game strong?
No.
No. Yes or no?
Yes.
Flying or trains?
Trains.
Are you a patient person?
No.
You're almost offended by that. Do you prefer dining or delivery?
Dining.
Do you prefer promoting, producing, or artist development?
Promoting.
Promoting. Do you view life glass half full or half empty?
I half full. Yeah, half full.
My
glass is never empty, period. So.
Oh, I like that response. I could live with that. Next one is Fresh Prince is a solid comedy show.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Sometimes the struggle is real.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that a question?
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Well, that wraps up the speed round. Do you have anything you want to clarify?
That was 20 questions? Jeez.
That was 20. Yeah, they're quick. I told you be over in a flash.
Who wouldn't think that Fresh Prince was comedic gold?
Whomever that person is.
Stuck in a basement, sitting on a tricycle, girls getting on my nerves.
Hey, Hey, I saw that post. Don't know if her body is hers.
So good. So good.
Classic guy. Classic guy. Alrighty. Well, that summarizes the speed round. Next up, we've got What's Yo Take? Woo! What's Yo Take? In What's Yo Take, I will be providing you with up to 5 quotes, statements, topics, or ideas, and I'm going to ask you to share your opinion on that. Simple enough? Good to go?
Good to go.
Cool. So, my first point is it's right for the artist to blame the promoter when they aren't getting gigs or when something goes wrong at a gig. What's your take?
Sorry, say that again. It's right for artists.
It's right. It's okay. It's expected for the artist to blame the promoter if something goes wrong at a gig or if the artist isn't getting gigs.
I mean, if they're not getting gigs, I disagree with that. For the reason that you need to work to show promoters that you exist and that you deserve a chance and that you can continuously grow alongside with them to promote about a gig. I mean, that really depends on what the issue was. There are a lot of quality promoters, and then there are a lot of promoters who don't know how to take care of things properly.
Right, fair. Okay, so how would an artist go about proving to a promoter that they have what it takes to, like, secure a good gig and perform?
I mean, a lot of it's like, first letting them know that you exist by sending them an introduction email or sending them links or a one sheet, to them. I can't, or a promoter can't book the act if they don't know that they don't exist or if they haven't heard them. I mean,
So
a lot
step
of the times
one, get known. Right.
Get known, but also it's, go out there and networking. Networking is 90% of this industry. If you're coming out and supporting other shows and other bands, there's a better chance that I'm gonna, or that anybody's gonna to take a look at you and support you. And then I mean, it's showing what you can do live, showing the crowds, just constantly being on top of them, writing good music, coming out with good quality material, and more so just being great, good people who support other bands and the scene itself, if they can.
It really is a full package that the artist has to provide. And then they have to be able to market that package as well. You can't just really hone and develop all your skills and then not bring it to the table, because if you don't bring it to the table, you're pretty much just an artist in your bedroom, and your only fans are yourself and your mom, maybe. So
yeah, but I mean that's the case for a lot of bands when they start. Again, I could go on for this for like hours. This topic alone. But I mean, blaming a promoter for you not getting gigs, no, you gotta blame yourself.
Pretty
for
ludicrous.
That. Blame yourself for that.
Yeah, you got to put in work. Exactly. No one's going to do it for you. Cool. On that note, I want to know how you feel about representing absolutely any artist. Would you do that?
Like just anyone?
Like, okay, of significance, not like beginners, like super amateur that won't contribute value, but someone that has done something and does bring some value, but maybe they're not the easiest person, or maybe they do this or have some kind of bad quality that you just draw the line. Or you represent every artist that's notable?
No, I wouldn't represent every artist. Myself, I mean, back when I was doing the management and artist development, a lot of that, a lot of it was, it's treated like friendship and family. Again, I'm not looking to just make money at a top level, but just working with anybody who could be like, D-Bag Joe, but selling 1 million records. If we don't get along, I'm not gonna do it. Right. Or if there's something I'm a big person of, I like to think character, and I like to align myself with people who also have the same character.
It goes a long way. I mean, at the expense of what are you getting that money? Your time and your energy. And arguably, both of those are more valuable. So why would you expend those to get that check?
conflicts and butting heads nonstop is not a good, working environment or healthy relationship for some. I mean, a lot of people deal with that and will do that, and that's completely fine. But myself, no.
Next one. You are proud of what the local scene has become. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always proud of what I am proud of what the local scene has become. The local music scene kind of goes in waves a lot of the time, but we've always got tons and tons and tons of talented artists coming out. That's never been a shortage here in London, at least in my 20 years of doing this. But again, it goes in waves. I'd like to see more local bands supporting other local bands that they don't normally play with or aren't friends with. But overall, absolutely, there's incredible musicians and top notch product, I suppose, coming out of this city right now, and it's incredible. And I mean, you're seeing local bands who are being able to sell 700 tickets, like Texas King and Ivory Hours, and then other people, other bands that are selling out Rum Runners to 400. It's incredible. So yes, absolutely, I'm definitely proud of what the London scene's like.
Yeah. Being part of the scene for 20 years, you get to see the whole atmosphere from a different perspective. And I think people would be able to appreciate it more in the sense of like planting a little seed, a literal plant, and then over the next 2 weeks you get to actually see it grow. For a business and for an actual environment or a whole scene, you're going to see that evolution, but over a greater period of time. But you're actually in the very unique position to see something like that. So it's cool to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're absolutely right, and it is. I don't know. I enjoy being able to have that perspective and have seen 2 different decades and 8 different ups and downs, I suppose.
And I'm sure there are going to be more. I mean, that's part of
Oh
living.
yeah, no, and I mean, especially right now with everything that's going on, but then it'll bounce back stronger. Because we'll get into that part after, but yeah, for sure.
Yes. All right. I've got another question here for What's Yo Take? This one is on working with Alexisonfire. I've been told that working with Alexisonfire was an absolute game changer for you. It's one of, I'm putting words in your mouth, but perhaps one of your proudest moments when Pulmonary Archery was first played on Much Music, and then soon after Corporate Rock Radio. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because a lot of screaming, singing bands never really got to there.
No, that was honestly that was incredible, and I remember that vividly. So back then, Alexisonfire were just a local band hanging out in Welland and St. Catharines and Fold, playing at the Shadow and Hideaway and St. Catharines. I was working with Joel Carrier, who's now the head of Dynalone Records and Bedlam Music Management, but he ran Bedlam, the Bedlam Society, which was the Niagara region equivalent of Summer Camp Productions. So we were working with the same bands, and we would take them back and forth and book tours for them, and then just work real close together, which was awesome. And we filmed a bunch of their videos. But I remember, the first time Pulmonary Archery was shown on Much Music was a game changer, but more so when FM 96 and other rock radio stations played it, because you're right, we were Alexisonfire weren't the pioneers of screamo in Canada. I mean, there had been some other bands doing it prior too, but they were just the ones that had that crossover quality, and they were doing it right. They were awesome guys, and they put on hell of a good live shows.
That's important.
And that first album and the Heart Skull EP is it's incredible. So yeah, no, that was super cool. I'll never forget that, for sure.
That is the conclusion of What's Yo Take, which means we're moving on to our 4th segment of this show. If you can see behind me, we've got a wheel challenge, and that is what is next. Next up, we've got the wheel challenge. Wheel challenge. Woo! In the wheel challenge, what's going to happen is I will spin the wheel for you because of obvious reasons, and then you get to complete whatever task is assigned on each of these tabs. You may get lucky, you may not, but you do have a choice to back out if you don't. If you do not like your challenge, you have the option to answer, let's just say, relatively uncomfortable questions, but we'll get there when we do. Are you ready for me to spin? Let me put this in a better position for you.
I've always wanted to spin the big wheel.
This is your virtual chance to do so. Let's do it.
All right, big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies.
Come on. Oh, we got drawing blindfolded. You said you had your paper handy, right? There we go. All right, cool. I've got a couple different items ready for you to draw. You do have only a 10-second time limit, and you cannot look down. No other rules, really. Cool?
Cool.
Let's do this. So the first one you're going to draw is a bass clef. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Jeez.
6,
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2. You done?
Yeah, I don't know if that's it.
Sound guys, what you think? What you think?
It's a clef. I don't know which one. My wife would know me.
Get out of here with that clef. That is not the right one.
Kind of looks like cherries from a slot machine.
We can just pretend like it is. You've got two more options or two more chances to defend.
Again, I already told you that I don't play an instrument, so I can't read music either. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I hear you. Let's see if you could do this one though. Let's draw a puppy face.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm excited. 1. Let's see it. Angry sound guy, what you think of this? What you think of that? Oh, he gives you the pass. That's unreal. All right, 1-1. I actually think the
looks like
puppy
my
at the
uncle.
top. I have never seen your uncle, but I'm not sure I want to see him after that. We got one more. Let's see if you could take this one. All right. So the last item you're gonna draw is a sunflower. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see it. We got a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Not bad.
What you guys think?
Not
Sunflower,
bad.
yes or nay? Ooh, if you got 2 out of 3, you took this one. Very nice, very nice.
Kind of miscentering the pod, but whatever.
Hey, for doing it without your eyes, I wouldn't say it was too bad. There's only one way to describe that last segment, and that is it's a wheel challenge. Play on words. I love it.
So if I get it.
There you go. Yes. Perfect. Yes.
You're so punny.
Thanks. Anyway, our next and last segment is called Clear the Air. Pooh. Clear the Air is where we ask you to be honest about challenges, about common issues within our industry. We ultimately want to help others become better and to avoid unnecessary hurdles if they don't need to barricade into them. So that's what we're going to do. The first question we've got for you is, where did your interest in music originally come from? And have you ever considered being an artist or developing a skill with an instrument?
I think my initial interest in music came from my parents. My dad was an avid listener of everything. I mean, I grew up listening to 50s and 60s music. I still do. My dad had all these solid gold cassette tapes that you used to buy from a gas station. And they were compilations before compilation CDs. They were compilation cassettes. So to be able to hear all these different artists on each one, really started. And then just growing up, I listened to the radio nonstop. I would also listen to the radio while having much music on nonstop. So whether I was, studying, which never happened, outside playing hockey or, playing video games inside, music was always on. And most of the times on, the two devices that we had, Much Music and the radio. And that's when I really, fell in love with music, especially the summer of 1993 or 4, 93, 93. Um, as for had I ever thought about becoming, I mean, yeah, I joked about being in bands all the time. I actually tried to sing for a band in high school once.
Yeah.
We were like the Deftones,
Okay.
only not even good,
Yeah.
or even remotely good. I've tried drumming. I've always said that. I don't know. Uh, you know, I've had interest in it, but I've just never done it.
Right.
Yeah.
Pursued it fully. Fair enough.
But
Fair
I
enough.
mean, if I was to start a band, we would probably sell out, so that'd be cool.
I mean, I
By
don't
that I
doubt
mean,
that
I
one
don't mean
bit.
for money. I mean like sell out of venues. That'd be cool.
Ah, of course. Of course. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. I'd go. I'd check it out. See why not.
Of course, who wants to see me fail on stage? Absolutely everybody.
That'll sell for sure.
Yeah.
That's horrible to say.
Right.
Our next question is you've shown time out. Before we move on to the next question, I want to say like that time you fell down the stairs and everyone laughed at you.
We got like 7,000 views on YouTube and Facebook now. Hey, I'm the one who posted it, so I'm not even embarrassed about it.
That's hilarious. I have not seen this, so I have to check it out.
I'll send it to you. It's great. I was throwing a rooftop party, and I had a little too much to drink. And I was walking down the stairs at the end of the night, and I stumbled, but I recovered nicely. But then my wife casually just walks over top of me, and I think that's what makes the whole video.
Yeah.
She's probably thinking, "Oh, he did this again."
That's again, and this time it's on camera.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I have no shame in that. That's fine. It happens.
Hey, it happens to everyone.
Exactly.
Been there, done that. Just
but it is pretty
camera.
it is pretty funny. I will say, every time it pops up on my memories, I watch it and then I share it, and then it gets more views and more laughs, and that's fine.
It's better when you can laugh at yourself with others.
I laugh at myself without others too, but yeah, especially with others.
That's one way to do it too. Beautiful. Now we can jump into the next question. You've shown clear dedication to the local scene since you were a teenager. Some say you've highly contributed to building the foundation, especially in punk and rock, but you're not very often in the limelight for all the work that you do. Despite people knowing who you are and, well, at least knowing of you, why do you think you're not more in the limelight? Is that an active decision? Is it a personal choice? What's going on there?
I don't really like the limelight. I've said for years, I'm just a guy who likes music and enjoys seeing people get together to also enjoy music. The limelight's never anything that, I don't know. I'm not progressively going out there to toot my own horn for awards and anything like that. That doesn't impact what I do. It doesn't motivate me anymore. I'm already pretty motivated to continue doing what I'm doing. I don't know. I feel I don't know. Maybe there's just I'm like everybody hates me because I'm real. Maybe I don't know. I don't actively pursue it. It's not. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. The reason
I'd rather be a low key person that people talk about in the background by more people than somebody constantly grabbing attention to a few people.
Fair.
I don't know. I feel like
Fair.
I have more input that way. I guess maybe. I don't know. I don't care about it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I mean, the real reason I wanted to ask that is because a lot of people will go into this world thinking like you got to become a celebrity. And if you don't do that, there's nothing else really within the industry. But that's not the case at all. Music is so vast. There's so much that you can do outside of just like simply performing on the big stage, which is what I want to draw attention to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. I love what I do. I love seeing other people succeed just as much or more than I do. And if I can contribute to that, then that's good. Like I said, I don't know.
It's highly gratifying. I agree.
I would rather hang out at a show and shake hands to new people coming in than, I don't know, receive an award or do an interview or something like that. I don't know. That's a weird one.
Outside of Go Produce, of course.
No, I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Oh, okay. All right. I got a little.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I don't know.
No, it's cool. It's cool. The next question that I've got for you is we've covered a little bit, but I want the full force of this. You're known to be rather outspoken on social media. For example, Your Twitter account, I'm sure you're familiar with,
I don't know anymore.
is
It doesn't exist again.
because it's currently suspended. Ha! I wonder why. But can you share with us why it is you call people out or things in the way that you do in such a public way? Is it fun?
Oh, is it fun?
Like,
I
do you get a tickle out of it? Or
I don't get off on it by any means. No. um, I think a lot of the times, especially on social media, is that text tone isn't a thing and it doesn't come across properly. So, and I forget that a lot. So when I post just words, you're not getting either the look on my face or the way that I'm saying things. It's not fun. I don't enjoy getting into arguments with people. Um, but I feel like if something is wrong, it should be corrected. Or if your opinion on something is ignorant or misguided, I feel like you should know that it's not. I don't know. I've tried to tone down my swearing
yeah.
because I feel like that,
We're
like
doing it here.
the F word to me is like the word the. It has no meaning. So yeah, no, I mean, I don't get off on it. There's no real reason that I do it. I don't. It's just how I talk, I guess.
Yeah.
But then when it's one on one with the same person, and I can clarify it, they completely understand 75% of the time.
75%. I mean, that's better than 50% of the time.
Like, not everybody's gonna like you. I don't need everybody to like me.
I think we should hear that one more time. We don't need everyone to like us. But are you bothered by the fact that you're not active on Twitter because of that?
So, well, technically, the reason that I'm not active on Twitter right now is because they needed to verify my account and they were sending my code to the London Music Hall, so I couldn't get it. The first time I was suspended was because of something that I said towards the president of the United States. No, that I'm not sorry about.
What? This is great.
So that's why, yeah, I'm currently trying to re-get into my Twitter account, but
Yeah.
I don't miss it. I will say I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. I'm curious to know, what did you say? All right, can we say that?
For the one that was the straw on the camel's back for Twitter after I'd already been banned a few times was like I said something like, "I hope you choke on a cheeseburger," and somebody reported it as I was wishing him death, which I wasn't. I was just saying, choke. You can survive. I don't care.
You can survive after choking. Yeah, I've seen it.
But it was something like that. I don't know, something stupid. Yeah, some of those like don't need to be said. He doesn't read them, so what's the point of me even doing that?
Yeah.
Which I've learned. I don't know.
A disinfectant cheeseburger, maybe.
A bleach burger.
Okay, I've got one more question here for you. This is for young artists. We see them at shows and this and that, and they're trying to network and make a name for themselves. But what is something that they should stop doing?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, networking is key. Being informed that the band exists is key. But every time you do something, I don't know, I don't need to hear about it. Just save it up and add it into one big thing, or just send me links. I don't know. In terms of networking, or just as a young artist in general?
As a young artist in general, they I guess tend to try a lot of different things to see what works for them. How should they, like, is there something that's actively hurting their career while they try and figure themselves out?
Yeah, communication is a big one. There's a lot of young bands still don't know, to show up before doors open because of sound checks and because of staff and all that issues. I mean, showing up. It should be a rule of thumb that you're at the venue an hour and a half prior to your show. Don't leave as soon as you're done playing. Stick around, support the other bands.
And a lot of artists just don't do that because they don't know. Or
a lot of young artists in the local level who are up and coming. Those are always kind of the same things that they do all the time. Show up late, leave after they're done and not supporting the others. Um, I mean, I've had other bands that they're local bands who have brought out like or sold like 5 tickets, but then they add or try to add 45 people to the guest list, but then complain about how there's no money in a door split for them, which is kind of counter productive and counteractive.
Do you get that
Uh,
often? Artists trying to get away with that? Guest lists?
no, I mean usually I set out the rules, and what artists and what bands should expect from gig to gig. Because again, I feel like communication is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I do the same in terms of what I expect from them and their levels of promotion and marketing, not only for their show but for themselves. And some people get take it offensively when I'm telling them to or pushing them to work harder to push not only the show but also themselves. And then eventually they realize that it's helping out with the shows and helping out with our growth. And then thanks for the nudge. I completely understand what you were saying now. Like it's a two-way street. Both the artist on a local level and myself need to work as hard as possible to push them and to push the shows.
Absolutely.
But I mean,
Absolutely.
again, like communication is the biggest thing. Understanding what you're getting into. I don't know. Just don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Fair enough. In terms of communication, you receive riders from the artists. Have you ever received absolutely ridiculous requests where you're just
Are we
flabbergasted?
sorry? Are we branching outside of the local scene now and going back towards like more established shows?
Yeah, sure, we could do that.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen some pretty outrageous riders with things. I mean, yeah, all the time. Most of them are, your stereotypical hummus, chips, water, beer, booze. I've seen some that have come up before that are like diapers for their baby, and it's like, no, clothing your child isn't the show's responsibility, in my opinion. Seen other ones where it's the standard only red M&Ms type thing, but it was only one specific brand of peanuts, and I got the wrong peanuts, so they wouldn't eat the peanuts. I mean, for the most part, though, you advance all this stuff in advance to go over it. What's essential for them and what's not, and you work within your budgets for each show and go from there. But diapers is a funny one for sure.
Okay. That is a very odd request. Speaking of odd or weird points in your career, what is the weirdest thing that you saw early in your career, maybe when you were at the embassy?
Oh man, what didn't I see at the embassy? So
I'm trying to figure out.
Beside the embassy, there was a smaller 140 cap room called the Whippet Lounge, and that's where all the the daytime neighborhood drinkers would go and hang out and sit there and drink all day. And there was one that's where we would do some of our bookings and calendar work there. But there was one day that I was just sitting at the bar having a coffee, and all of a sudden I heard this guy scream in the bathroom, and another guy ran outside, and then 5 minutes later, guy left the bathroom, another guy left the bathroom 5 minutes later screaming, and as he's running out the door, he's like, "That asshole sold me drywall." So that was funny.
What? Come on.
But I mean, that was kind of the thing at the time. The embassy was great for great and vital for everything, but it was, I don't know, people knew what kind of dive bar they were getting into there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's jokes. What about music hall? You ever see anything in the music hall, guest wise or artist? Any kind of you take a double take. What is going on? What am I looking at right now?
I mean, we had I can't remember who it. Sorry, I can remember, but I'm not going to say which band.
That's cool.
But somebody had a bad time. They got ejected for being too drunk, and they were a direct support on. They slept in their bus in the parking lot. We woke up the next morning, and the music hall front door was kicked in. We find cups of pee, and one guy took a dookie all over the parking lot wall from guests. People not understanding simple rules or why they're being kicked out when they're too intoxicated. that you can't
I'm
you
not.
can't just
I'm
you
not
can't just
drunk.
you can't climb onto the stage and then climb onto all of the band's gear falling over and then not understand why you're. I don't know. I don't know. You see it all. I mean, I've definitely seen weirder stuff than that, but I'm not going to discuss it.
Fair
Some
enough.
of them,
Time and
because
place.
I just feel like it's yeah, not the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I love watching people who are avidly. I mean, I don't love watching it, but you're told not to stage dive. You run up onto the stage anyways, stage dive, and there's nobody there because
I feel
you're.
like that happens more often than not.
Oh, it definitely does. Definitely does.
Oof. Just a group of
Oof.
friends
You
challenge
feel
one
bad.
another.
You feel bad. When you laid out all the lines telling them not to do it, and then they do it and risk hurting themselves. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, people are just trying to have a good time, but at the same time, at what expense? You're
There's
making
a
it worse for
Yeah. I
others.
mean, you should go out there and have the best time that you can. Live for the music and for that time, but also be respectful and understand all the people around you, including staff, and more importantly, the artist. I mean, you see tons of videos where like people jump on stage and take selfies. That's become a thing, or was a thing, and then they'll get shooed off the stage, and something will transpire from that because
Right. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, you paid to get into the show. That doesn't give you the right to go up there and
You
interrupt
don't own
somebody while
everything.
they're doing their job. So
Yeah, yeah. Everyone else in the venue actually paid to be there as well, so like you're not any more special than everyone.
no, for sure.
Let's
But thanks for buying
take
your
it
ticket and
easy.
coming.
Yeah, and please buy a ticket for next time too.
When this is over, please buy all of the tickets.
Yes, no doubt. I've got another question for you. Why have you never left London? I'm sure you've had opportunity maybe to go, maybe even to come back after, but
I mean, I've never left London in a sense of work. I definitely have had, some job offers in Toronto and even a couple U.S. cities. Um, I love London too much. I'd rather continue
Low
to
City.
put the work in here, and a place that I love, that I have my roots in. Um, and again, like you said, being able to have seen it for 20 years, to see where it's grown and continues to grow, and helping out with brickworks, I guess, of this new crop. It's just something that I love too much. And I mean, another big thing was moving to a different city and starting over again means struggling for living expenses and everything else. It's not like I'm rich by any means, but starting off in the bottom of another company somewhere else in a place that's as expensive as Toronto or something else, just as it doesn't appeal to me. But I love London too much. I was born and raised here. I've been able to see the rest of the continent and other places in the world on tour. When
Awesome.
I was tour managing or merch or whatever else, which I was doing for a bunch of years. So being able to see it from that perspective was good enough for me to be able to go away and then come back and continue to live in the city that I love while continuing to grow the scene I love with the people I love.
Yeah. I mean, your presence is obviously very much appreciated in the city. It's felt. Your work does not go unnoticed. But at the same time, the fact that you were able to leave and see the rest of the province and the rest of the world, some of the rest of the world through your work allows you to see London itself in a different lens,
Oh,
through a
100%,
different
absolutely,
capacity.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
there were a couple of years where I was in Toronto every other week for the week. So again, getting out of there or Ottawa, like outside of touring. But then yeah, you just come back and you realize that it's the same, just different.
Yep. It's the same, just different. But that almost means that you're different. You've changed, you've grown.
Hmm, maybe.
Who
Again,
knows?
I'm trying to swear less.
I can see you're trying, and it's not
Yeah,
going unnoticed.
I know, right?
Brandon, that was so much fun. That brings us to the end of the episode. I mean, we've got nothing else right now. We are super pumped that you were able to take some time and join us here. Do you have any
And
last words for our listeners,
yeah,
or
I
can
was
they
gonna
find you
say
anywhere?
one last thing. So, you brought back every Tuesday at Winks I do rock and roll bingo, but now because of the pandemic and isolation, we're trying to find ways to have fun while supporting uh, London businesses and other communities that are in need. So I brought rock and roll bingo to Twitch. So we're doing Rock and Roll Bingo every Tuesday night from 8 to 11 o'clock or so. It's the same fun. So what we're doing is it's a $10 buy-in. $5 of that goes to whatever organization. The remaining of that goes to purchasing gifts from local businesses to give away. So your donations are actually supporting restaurants, retailers. In the case tonight, we raised $1,750 tonight. We're also giving away $750 in prizes that we sourced from local London businesses to help support them and keep them going during this crisis where a lot of people don't know if there's going to be any end in sight. So, I mean, this will be the 4th week that we've done it. And so far, I've raised about $3,500 for Winks, $3,000 for other businesses. And it's been a lot of fun. So you can find that Twitch TV/Brandon Eady every Tuesday night. You do need to sign up in advance. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Brandon Eady, Twitter, not currently, Instagram at Brandon Eady, Summer Camp Productions, London Music Hall, Winks, whatever.
All right. And I will include all of those links in the show notes. So don't try and scramble everything right now if you're listening. That was amazing. Listeners, thank you for tuning in. Grumpy Sound Guy, you made yourself present, and maybe next time not so much because we don't really like you that much, but thank you for doing what you got to do. Shout out to Prevail Media Group and the team.
He reminds me of somebody, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, just an angry old fart.
I do like those glasses, though. I got to figure out where I can get them.
Nope.
He's got a dope cigar, too, but we told him not to smoke inside.
You're fired.
I think that's a J, actually.
Ooh, I didn't want to say it, but I gotta go, speaking of. But that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, then follow us on Instagram at go.produce. Check out our show notes, support us on Patreon, and help us grow this community. All of this and more can be found on our website at goproduce.ca. I am Big Lou, and I want to make sure that until next time, you go produce.